As always, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to another segment of Bucky's View. This is called Bucky's Afternoon View Perspective. And we're going to talk, match day, of course, in Europe. We're going to talk about a few bits and bobs. We're going to talk about some aspects that have only come across recently. We're gonna give you some updates as well in terms of news, team news, what's happening, what's the latest, and we're just gonna talk in general, of course, about the focal point, which is the return of Jesus. Please drop a like on the video, please subscribe to the channel, and also please share the video if you feel to do so, and if you can do so from the kindness of your heart. Now, Gabriel Jesus is back, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. This is now the final piece of the business end puzzle to come together and take us to the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, it's incredible how the season has gone up till now, Haven't seen this in years. The fact that we went so long without him in the team and we are still at top. We're still on top. 5 points clear. 26 games played. I mean, it's written in the stars, isn't it? I mean, tell me if we're all getting carried away by everything that has just happened, every fortunate situation that's happened, every bit of luck, because there has been luck as well. Believe me, every title winning team gets luck. But our success hasn't been due to luck. We haven't had all of the success we've had this season because only of luck, or the biggest portion of it being luck. There's been bits of luck, of course, but we've had our challenges, we've had our tests. This was one of the biggest tests. Gabriel Jesus been injured for months, and somehow we found a way to not only make it seem at times that he wasn't even missed, even though he has obviously always been missed, but it's been seamless at times where we didn't even think about Gabriel Jesus. We just let him do his rehabilitation. We just let him do his thing. But I feel like in recent times, what's happened with him being out is the fact that we just haven't had that inspiring and that motivating figure on the pitch. And this is what I want to focus on as we go into this segment. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm going to ask you to please drop a like on the video. Let's get it, let's go. Gabriel Jesus, for me, has been the most important piece of the puzzle in terms of this title push. Why do I say that? Because when you check it and when you deep it, going back to all of the earliest of the games, going back to the early games of the season, Gabriel Jesus was somebody who, not only the pep talks, but even just in general play, he will be the person that will motivate either by leading, talking, directing, delegating, but also playing and, doing it by example. You see when he would do all of the trickery in and out, dazzling through and getting a shot on goal, whether it hits the target, whether it doesn't. It just galvanized those players. It just allowed them to say, do you know what? We're not going to give up right up to the 90th plus minute. But we're also going to slowly change our mentality, and we're going to implement the same mentality as this guy. And that's one of the biggest things with him as well. He came into that dressing room and instilled a mentality where you can clearly see, it's not about top four. He's wiped that off the mind of his colleagues, of his teammates. It's about going for the title, ladies and gentlemen. And I seriously believe that wobble, that dip, a lot of the times where we conceded goals, I wouldn't say heads dropped completely, but there'll be a lot of times where you kind of needed, you know what I mean? Arsenal this season just looks like we've got all of the perfect pieces that we need in order to go as far as we've gone and potentially even further and potentially get to the finish line and bring this title back to the Emirates. Well, bring it to the Emirates for the first time, but bring it back to Arsenal since 2004. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's now fully training with the squad. I know you've seen the pictures. I know you've seen, Twitter. He is training. He's at full tilt, not taking it light anymore. He is getting stuck into tackles. He's getting stuck in duels with, strong guys, guys that, you're going to feel their weight, partying them, man, there. So he's ready. We've got a centre forward conundrum. Trossard is out. Nketiah's out. So that leaves us with Gabriel Jesus, of course, and Gabriel Martinelli, who can really and truly really and truly play that position, unless he's going to really go out of the box and, I don't know, do a Reece Nelson up front type of scenario. But I doubt it. We know Reece Nelson, of course, is going to push to start in this game, and he most probably will start in this game. But is it going to be up front? I'm not too sure. I still think he'll probably start with Gabriel Martinelli up front and see how the game is obviously going, see how we're doing, see how Sporting's doing, see what kind of, game we're playing. And if he can in any way, shape or form, then potentially give Gabriel Jesus some minutes in the second half, maybe a 20-minute cameo or a 10-minute cameo. We know for sure, it is a case of Mikel Arteta wants to, leave him out for as long as possible and let him really come into his own. We're talking about, also he's been talking about the mental side of his game. It needs to come up to speed as well. It's not just a case of, okay, pass fit to play because he's trained and he's passed his fitness test. Let's throw him back in there. It's not about that. We need to throw him back in there when he's physically ready and also when he's mentally ready. But the problem is, and the issue is, that now we have this injury conundrum with the centre forwards, and he's also pushing to play as well. In his mind, in his essence, he feels as though and this is what I'm talking about. This is the mentality. It's relentless. This energy that we have in the changing room this season, it is relentless type of, I want to play, we want to win, and I want to win, and we're going to win. And we know even with all of that, it's still so hard to do it. But listen, we're there. 5 points clear as the king in waiting comes back. Because make no mistake, Gabriel Jesus will be the king. If we get rid of the injuries, Champions League next year, hopefully with a Prem title, do you not understand what kind of, that will make us, what that will do for us mentally going into next year if we manage to do it. And we're in the Champions League and we make a few additions here and there. Someone like Casado or someone like Rice comes into the team. Scenes. And he's the striker to do it. He's the striker to get goals. Remember, honestly, I believe we have not seen the best of Gabriel Jesus in the Premier League yet. Tell you lot for sure. Tell you lot for now. We haven't, We have not seen the best of Gabriel Jesus in the Premier League. He's going to give more output at Arsenal essentially, than he's given at Man City. And God knows, because we're playing him centre forward instead of the wings, even though sometimes we might spice it up and change it up. God knows, when this boy starts banging and he's hitting that 15 to 20 goal mark this season, 20 to 25 goal mark a season, we know ultimately what Mikel Arteta's real ambition is. Of course, the Premier League is dead there. Of course, it's there. However, he said it when he came into the job, I want to win the Champions League with Arsenal. He wants to be the prime manager, the first to do it in the history. He knows how that will go down. Legendary status, solidified. You might even be looking at statue conversations in years' time if Mikel Arteta brings the Champions League to Arsenal. And I believe this is his guy. I believe this is his guy. I believe Gabriel Jesus is his guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some news to talk about very quickly in terms of injuries and so forth. Very, very bad news. Kieran Tierney looks like he's ill. I thought he would have played this game. He would have been nailed on to start. Fortunately, he's come off ill, and it looks like it's some sort of cold or something like that. Fabio Vieira is also ill as well. He's got a sore throat, so we're not going to see Fabio Vieira. Fabio was apparently he was actually meant to be the one to take part of the press conference, but because he was so unwell, it had to be Martinelli replacing him in the press conference. So that's not good news. Hopefully, speedy recovery for those two, and we're gonna see Jakub Kiwior most certainly start. It looks like it's all good with Jakub Kiwior, and I'm excited to see this boy play. I'm excited to see him do his thing. I'm excited to see him integrate into the squad and integrate into the team and see how he performs. Let's give him all the support he needs, guys. Let's give him all of the motivation he needs. I'm sure he doesn't need anymore. He's about to debut for the Arsenal, the best club in the entire history of human beings. And yeah, listen, I still predict a 3-1 win for Arsenal away from home at the Stadio Ovalad. In my preview, how could I do it? But I did do it. I missed out a very important key person, a key player for Sporting, which is Marcus Edwards. He actually scored against us at the Emirates as well. But I think we're going to keep him quiet. I think he's going to try to do his thing. And, we know he's a pacey young player. Obviously being an ex-Tottenham player, he's going to try to most certainly do his utmost against Arsenal, as they always do. But I think we've got enough in the tank, enough in the locker to nullify all of that and to get rid of all of that. We're going to see Hector Bellerin, of course, as I mentioned, and Hector Bellerin, he's going to get spun if he plays. I'm not sure if he's going to play or if he's not going to play. I saw the AFTV video of Arsenal or Sporting Arsenal, sort of box to box, and it doesn't look like it's looking good at the moment for Sporting. There's a lot of upheaval. There's a lot of things going on over there, and I think as we come with the energy that we come, if we can transfer the energy, if we can transfer the vibes that we have in the Premier League to the Europa League, I think we can see an incredible performance from Arsenal. Again, what I'm really trying to say is probably a high scoring type of game. 3-1, hopefully 4-1, hopefully 4-0, hopefully a clean sheet. I'll be unbelievable for Matt Turner, a clean sheet. Tomoyasu, it does look like he's good to go in terms of starting in this game as well. There shouldn't be any issues. Tomoyasu just needs to get minutes, man. I'm telling you, we need to see Tomoyasu playing at his best. But he might even cover Fortini. Yeah, he might cover Fortini on the left side, and we might see Benny Blanco actually starting on the right. And for me, if Benny Blanco starts on the right, as I said previously, I think it's fantastic because I think Benny Blanco plays so well in that position, and there's something about Ben White, the way how he plays, it just makes the system all kind of link together and work together. Timing of his runs, where he runs to, when to not run, when to not push forward, and so he's just got it absolutely nailed on. Of course, we're gonna see a slight different change in tempo, and we're gonna see obviously personnel changes. So you're not gonna see the Premier League Arsenal that we've been watching over the past few months. It's going to feel different. They're going to try to get into their groove as much as they can. If Odegaard starts, then he should be the linchpin. He should be the person to bridge all of that and kind of, connect all of that. But we're still to see what effectively happens in terms of, the team starting and so forth. But yeah, oh man, let's quickly talk about the Champions League yesterday. Jesus, Tottenham. Jesus, Tottenham. Tottenham's out of the Champions League, as we know. 0-0, horrible result at home. Absolutely shambolic from them, and I think Antonio Conte is absolutely done. They're absolutely in the mud, and it's all about the mentality over there. You can clearly, it almost feels like Conte is gone. Do you know what? Yeah. Because these guys have no winning mentality, I'm not even going to try to implement a winning mentality. I'm out here sabotaging this team right now. Because his lineups don't make no sense. The way he plays football makes no sense. Nothing makes sense. Only he is able to justify the things that he does. No one, I don't think anyone can justify it for him. Glenn Hoddle can't justify it for him. expressions can't justify it for him, and expressions wants him out. He's somebody I watch on YouTube, and for you to start seeing now fans that really are craving for trophies, wanting a trophy winning manager in Antonio Conte out, it says everything you need to, it just says it all. And it's not looking good. They're in the mud. But hey, as I always say, may it long continue. May it absolutely long continue. And yeah, man, it looks like there's some sort of revival going on for Chelsea. Good win for Chelsea. Congratulations to Chelsea for that 2-0 win against Borussia Dortmund. They did their thing. I spoke to my Chelsea friend, my Chelsea fan and he seems to think that there could be some sort of revival coming back, and there could be some sort of of a turnaround. Kai Havertz, he's somebody who I rated prior to coming to Chelsea, and even at Chelsea, I rated for the first few months, I would say. And I kept on saying to my Chelsea friends, I kept on saying I just think he's being used in the wrong way, and if he is being used in the right way, you can see a completely different performance to Kai Havertz. Of course, he's still playing up front and so forth, but penalties of course will help in you trying to find your form again and trying to do what the manager's telling you to do. But yeah, 2 wins on a bounce. That's not bad in 2 competitions, and they move. PSG. Oh my goodness, Jesus! It's time to rip it all up. It's time to rip up the project. It's time to get rid of somebody. Somebody needs to go. I don't know if it's Neymar. It looks like it's most probably going to be Neymar. It looks like Neymar's going to be the scapegoat again. Mbappe's not going to go nowhere. He practically half owns the club. And Messi just looks like he's just going through the motions. Messi should just return to Barcelona. If it is a case of him, playing, and I'm sure they'll welcome him with open arms, bro, you might as well go, because I don't even think you want to win the Champions League with PSG. It's not going to bang the way it will bang if you was to win it again with Barcelona, or if you was to win, with a team in the Premier League. PSG is just it's a project that you can safely say that it's just not going to work anymore. For however they're analyzing, the performances, and true in-depth deep dive into what's making it not work and who is the personnel that is making it not work. They've had many years to do that. They've had years to do this. They chop and change here. They add another brilliant star in this window, and they add another sort of low-key kind of squad player in that window, and they still can't do it. They still can't do it, man. So very, very poor from PSG. They need to rip up the whole project, and they need to start again. And yeah, it's not looking good for them, man. It's very, 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 very disappointing to see that. And this is why yesterday I even said, like, I'm not even gonna watch the Bayern Munich PSG game, because I know Bayern Munich's gonna win that game. They're gonna win the tie. They're gonna knock them out. It's just gonna be disappointing. Let me actually see the demise of Tottenham. I'd rather have watched the demise of Tottenham, and I did. I had the Tottenham game on, because I just knew PSG, you're going to watch a game where you're going to be so shocked at the lack of effort, like they didn't score a goal in 2 legs against Bayern Munich. A team like that, a squad like that, like, raw, how was that possible? How could that happen? How? You got men like Messi, Hakimi, Ramos, Mbappe, Marquinhos, goalkeeper Donnarumma, Verratti, Nuno Mendes, Danilo, Vitinho. Like, what? How? Look at Bayern Munich's lineup. They got Sommer, and Sommer, he had a bit of a weird game. He was moving iffy in the early stages of that game. But other than that, okay, let me see. Superstars, and you don't really have superstars, but they did their thing. Kimmich, that's probably the one star I would say. Obviously, De Ligt. Look, they've got Stanisic, Upamecano, De Ligt, Davies. Goretzka in the middle with Kimmich, Coleman, Muller, Musiala, and Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting scoring goals. This guy's with Stoke, he got relegated with Stoke. And he's doing his thing with Bayern Munich. He's been with him for a few years now. He scores important goals, he's probably revived his career. I was saying Choupo-Moting has the best agent in the entire world. Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting played for Paris Saint-Germain against Bayern Munich in the 2020 Champions League final. Wow. So he's actually paid for PSG in that final year. Of course he did. This is a madness. He's out here. He's doing his thing, man. He's out here. He's on top of the world. But listen, guys, let me not take any more of your time. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing. This has been a quick 20-minute segment, 20 minutes or so segment, to give you sort of rounded news, and I'm gonna call this one the sort of Bucky afternoon view. And thank you for tuning. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting as well. Please drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about Kieran Tierney. You know, unfortunately missing this opportunity to show us what an amazing fullback of a player he is. Very upset to hear that news. Are we excited to see Kiwior get a run out, make his debut? Are we gonna see Gabriel Jesus in this game? By all means, man, may the gods make that happen. And listen, obviously I don't want him rushed back, but I do want to see him playing again in an Arsenal shirt. It's been so long. The World Cup feels like it's a world away. He feels like he got injured a world away. So yeah, we want to see Gabriel Jesus. We want to see the return of the king in waiting. He will be the king. He will take over, and eventually and essentially, he will bring us that Champions League and that Premier League we will wait for. Please like and subscribe, guys. I'll see you later. Look after everybody you love. Look after somebody you don't love, and peace.